So welcome everybody. We've got an exciting guest with us here at Dean Manor, Dr. Max Lee. Welcome.
Thank you, Susan. It's good to be here.
So this is a book launch, and as always, we love to connect the readers with the author so that you know all about the book and why you should grab a copy. So Max, you have written a book. Now, Max is a dentist, has been a dentist for over a decade, and he has written this amazing book, Why Am I a Dentist? So it's about a search for clarity and meaning. So Max, tell us first, of course, we know you're a dentist, but tell us why the title, Why Am I a Dentist?
Yeah, so I guess it's almost like doing a self-introspection into my own career and my own life. So like you said, I've been a dentist for over 10 years, well, to be exact, 11 years and counting. And I guess a few years ago, I kind of had what people call a quarter-life crisis. So I'm in my mid-30s now. And I guess when I turned 30, that's around the time when I started having questions about my own career and just asking myself, where am I going? What's next for me? So I really wanted to do a kind of a deep dive into my own career and the industry that I'm working for.
Beautiful. I love that. So we talk a lot in this book, and of course, why am I a dentist? You might think, oh, well, who's going to read this book? Is it just for dentists? Can you tell us who actually could get benefit from this book and who's this targeted towards?
Yeah, people ask me all the time, like, what's the target audience for the book? And I really don't have a specific target audience. It's definitely not intended just for dentists. I try to write the book in a way that it's very easily understandable for the lay public as well. So if you're like a member of the public, like if you've been a dental patient before, and if you've been to a dental clinic before, then I'm sure you've had lots of questions about how the industry works, and maybe questions about, what goes in a dentist's head in the dental practice. So I try to explain a lot in the book about the everyday events that dentists have to go through. So I really don't have a fixed target audience. If there's a dentist who wants to read my book,
or maybe somebody that is wanting to get into the dentist industry could also be somebody else.
Definitely, yeah. So if you're a dental student or maybe like even a new graduate dentist, I do think that you will benefit a lot from reading the book, because I've written a lot about my own personal experiences of being a new graduate. When you're a dental student or a new graduate dentist, then there are a lot of struggles that you have to go through, just like any industry in the world. It doesn't matter whether you're a doctor or a lawyer, it doesn't matter. If you're new to an industry, you're going to have struggles. And I've had my own fair share as a new graduate dentist, and I've written all about it in the book. So if you're a dental student or a new graduate dentist, you will definitely benefit a lot from reading the book.
Now, I know you, Max, to be very humorous. It's quite an entertaining book. Some very controversial things in here, let me just say.
A lot.
Yeah, or a lot. There's actually some things in here that will shock some, will intrigue some, and really stand as someone that's really exposing this dental industry. Can you tell me why you've become so controversial and humorous inside your book?
Well, okay, for example, there's a part in the book where I talk about the legal side of dentistry, and that's obviously a very difficult topic for dentists to talk about, because who likes to talk about the legal side of working as a dentist, right? But I really think that there's nothing wrong with talking about and writing about uncomfortable topics. It's a topic that dentists think about on a daily basis. Look, I've thought about my patients suing me. Every dentist under the sun has thought about being sued by their patients. And I'm sure every dental patient in the world has at one point thought about suing their doctor or a dentist. So it is a topic that people think about all the time. And I really think that there's nothing wrong about writing about a topic that if it's a topic that everyone thinks about all the time.
Yeah. And there's some things in there that are quite funny. It's like, should you get kids braces? Well, if their teeth aren't great, well, maybe you should. And I think you put it in a little bit more interesting way, but I know that there's going to be some controversy here because you really have exposed, and you're a dentist yourself, but you've really kind of come clean with the industry, and we know that we need our dentists to have our beautiful teeth. So it's not that we don't cherish and really need this industry, and it's a great industry to be in. But you get quite controversial in some areas. Is it to really talk about topics that people normally don't talk about? Like, have for the readers when they might be reading it going, I can't believe he wrote about that. That was a great example, but you talk about lots of other things like what the dentist's thinking, or maybe what the client might need to be aware of as well.
That's it. So I'm fully expecting well, the book launch is on the 6th of March, and I'm fully expecting to be stoned by the rest of the dental profession by the end of the month. And who knows, maybe by July or August, I'll be found at the bottom of the ribbon because I'll just go missing. Look, the dental industry it's a small world. When I started writing the book, another thing that I noticed is that no dentist is writing about the dental world. There are doctors, medical doctors, who have written about the medical industry. And we all know there are plenty of TV series on Netflix that talk about the happenings in the medical world, but nothing about the dental world, which I thought was very strange. I mean, the dental world is just as interesting as any other industry in the world. We've got dramas, there are scandals, there are some pretty stories, there are some ugly stories, and no dentist is writing about it, which I thought was very strange.
I never thought about it like that. How many doctors are exposing the pharmaceutical industry, the medical industry? Like, there's so much, exposure out there. But you're absolutely right, and it's making people aware. And it's not to say that doctors don't have a place and dentists don't have that amazing place to serve, but it is. You're quite right. I never looked at it like that this is really like the first book that's exposing the dental industry, and lots of entertainment and humor inside of it. So I think that it's going to be a very unique thing for you, Max, and hopefully we won't find you in the bottom of the but you're talking about this topic, so I think that it's intrigued, I'm sure, so many people that are going to be able to grab the link below and purchase your copy, even if it's just to read, to find out what's in here. And a question also is, why did you become a dentist?
Well, I guess, spoiler alert, that's what I talk about throughout the whole book. But okay, so just to give you a quick hint for those of you watching this, every dentist will have to find their own answers as to why they've become a dentist. For me, look, I've struggled to answer the question for the past 10 years. Like in the dental clinic, my patients ask me all the time, the question that you just asked. Patients ask me, Dr. Max, so how come you decided to become a dentist? Like, why did you decide to study dentistry? And for a long time, I couldn't come up with an answer. I'm always mumbling whenever patients ask me that. I always try to come up with some generic answers.
I was going to say, normally, isn't it, Dad wanted you to be a dentist? Yeah, have you got family that are dentists?
No one's a dentist.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got some members who are in the medical industry, but like no dentists. And so usually when patients ask me, like, I try to come up with some generic answer, like, I thought it would be like a cool profession to serve in. I wanted to help people. I try to come up with all these generic answers, but that's not the real answer. That's the whole reason why I decided.
Well, they need to read the book.
If you want the real answer, read the book. The answer is in chapter 10. So yeah.
Fantastic.
I won't give it away here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, a very interesting book. I think that people are going to get a lot to read. What's next for you, Dr. Max? You're still practicing, of course.
Yeah.
And still serving people and making them have their beautiful smiles.
Doing my best. Yeah. So I guess the next step is, I'm very keen to find out how this book's going to go. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll become a millionaire, and I can maybe even retire from dentistry, and maybe I might even become a full-time author. It was quite fun working on a book. Yeah, it's been a fantastic experience.
And I think it's just an expression of words, and that's what you've definitely done. You've expressed yourself, you've gone to a very controversial topic, and you've exposed the dental industry in different ways and really brought humor to it. So you're going to get a laugh out of it. I know we did, helping pull this book together. So thank you so much for joining us today. And like I said, grab your book. The links are below, and let's help spread this book around for Max. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan.